Hey guys, welcome back to Orms TV, and today we have another episode of camera news and rumors for you guys.
Yeah, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get all the latest Orms TV videos.
Yeah, let's dive in.
Alright, so starting off with rumors, there's definitely some leaked images on Sony's side.
Yeah, so apparently we are going to get an A9 Mark II imminent.
Yes,
Yeah.
no A7S3 yet.
No, A7S III apparently now officially pushed back to 2020.
Yes.
But as we're recording this, today is the 3rd of October, and there's big rumors swirling that the A9 will be announced today, so later on this afternoon. So by the time you guys see this, it might be out already.
Perfect launch for the Olympics coming soon as well.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Now, there's no real specs on it yet. Like, Sony's played it really close to the chest, which I think is quite nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, realistically, high frame rate, gonna be a bit of a bump up in the autofocus system.
Amazing autofocus from Sony, like always.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we're probably not going to see like major bumps in terms of the megapixel count, you know, being that it is a speed camera, if I can put it
Yes,
that way,
yeah.
you know. So on that as well, if it's not being announced today, then apparently the official date is the 23rd of October. And Sony has some major event happening on that day, and apparently that might be the other date that we might get an announcement.
Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of these brands pull out of major photographic shows. It seems like all brands are doing their own sort of releases and shows.
Yeah, absolutely. So like release it prior to a show, and then just at the show, you know, have it hands on and people
Yes.
can touch and feel and try it out.
Yeah.
Okay, so since we are talking about Sony, Tamron's got some new Sony lenses coming.
Yeah, like Sigma and Tamron are definitely getting on the Sony bandwagon. So the new lens is going to be the 70 to 180 2.8. It's going to be a 20mm fixed 2.8, 35 fixed 2.8, and a 24 fixed 2.8. Now, if these are as good as the 2875 2.8 from Tamron, then people are going to be very excited, and I'll be keen to definitely check them out.
Yeah, I mean, like a 70 to 180 is a bit of a strange focal length, but it could be quite cool.
Yeah, it's like your 70 to 200 equivalent.
Yeah.
And what's nice about those Tamron lenses, they are super light and easily half the price versus the big Sony stuff.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
So keep a lookout on that.
Definitely keen to check them out.
Okay, so then there's some new news from Nikon as well.
Yeah, some mirrorless news, exciting. It's going to be either a Z1 or maybe a Z50.
Okay.
I'm not sure. The leaked images show a Z1, but it seems like a Z50 is going to be the possible name. The specs looks very good. 20 megapixel. It's going to be a crop sensor, so it'll be their first crop sensor in that range.
Okay.
And also 11 frames a second, so keeping the speed nice up, good decent megapixel. They're also mentioning a pivot screen, which might get the YouTube community a little bit angry.
Yeah, well, I mean, I hope that when they say pivot screen that it actually folds out to the side,
Yeah.
but
We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
It might be similar to the Fuji screens where it just flips up and down,
Yeah.
just like Sony as well.
yeah, but now apparently on these leaked images, it's actually showing it with a viewfinder, which originally wasn't the case.
Yeah, and I think in this day and age, everybody wants the viewfinder. I think when cameras launch, there should be a viewfinder on these cameras.
Absolutely. So that could be quite an interesting item.
Yeah, and I think the date was the
10th of October.
yes,
Yeah.
so that's fairly soon.
Yeah, that is quite close. So that could
And
be nice.
utilize all the Nikon Z lenses, which is very nice, very good glass. So we'll be keen to check it out when it comes
Yeah, and
out.
if it comes in at a good price, that could be a winner for Nikon.
Okay, so going into some Canon rumors, there's been some information on the 1DX3.
Yeah, so apparently on or around the 11th of February 2020, so next year.
Olympics again, right?
Yeah, I mean, gearing up into Olympic season and
Yeah.
that. Apparently, that's when they're going to announce the 1DX Mark III and at the same time their high megapixel version of the EOS R.
There's a lot of information on that going around online, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of speculation, you know, anything ranging from like 75 to 100 megapixels and just crazy speculation out
There's
there.
definitely a megapixel war going on with the brands at the moment.
Pretty much. Sony obviously leading the pack at the moment,
Yes.
but Canon seems to want to take them on, you know, for that.
And I think they've got the right lenses. The RF lenses can handle the resolution.
Absolutely, absolutely. And seeing a new 1DX come out as well, that's exciting. And yeah, then there's also been a lot of rumors circulating about their cinema range for
Yes.
next year as well. So we're looking at the first half of 2020. they're expected to announce a C300 Mark III. And the C300 has always been a popular line for them, but that's obviously been dwindling a bit with the C200 taking a bit of that market share. And then apparently we're also going to get a replacement for the C100. So that'll be the C100 Mark III as well. And that could be really exciting. And the rumors at the moment is saying that that will come with a native RF mount.
So that's their mirrorless lens mount.
Yeah, so future-proofing the Cinema EOS range. I think that's quite cool.
We hope that you can still fit the RF adapter onto it to use obviously the normal EF lenses. That would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
But Canon obviously gearing up and future-proofing their RF lenses.
Absolutely, Okay, so covering all the rumors, and then there's been some actual confirmed products that are on their way.
Yeah, stuff that is coming soon.
So firstly, let's talk about Fuji.
Oh yeah, the brand that's very close to our hearts.
Indeed.
So X Pro 3, I mean, a lot of people were waiting for it, and it looks very good, very nice.
Yeah, I absolutely cannot wait. I'm hounding Fuji every day to get a demo in my hands. I'm super excited for this thing.
And I think the biggest change on it is going to be that little back screen. It's beautiful. It's a little window. It's similar to the window on the XH1.
Yeah.
So it displays your spec, and I think the greatest feature on it is when you switch your film simulation, it actually gives you the little printout of your film.
Yeah, so kind of like you would have had back in the day when you were shooting film, taking the little lip off the the box and putting that in there. It's magnificent.
It's a big throwback.
Yeah, it is very, very cool, and especially in a rangefinder style camera, I think it's very cool. But don't worry. You still have an LCD screen. It just now flips out.
Flip it down. Yeah. So I don't think it's going to be a camera for everybody. It's definitely going to be one of those throwbacks. But I think it's a great move for Fuji because the X Pro 3 was always aimed for those kind of photographers.
Absolutely. You know, somebody who wants a bit of a different approach to it. And I think this fits in perfectly. And as you said, it might not be a camera for everybody, but it's definitely a camera for me.
Yeah.
And I'm super stoked for it.
Can't wait to get it in our hands.
Yeah, absolutely.
So in other news, GoPro launched 2 cameras in this week, and we do have a video on it as well. Yeah,
so they dropped the Euro 8 Black and the GoPro Max, both of them looking pretty tasty.
Yeah.
And check out our first look. We'll link it down in the description below.
Yes. All right, so now jumping to Nikon, again, getting ready for the Olympics, the D6.
Yeah, so they've basically just announced that that's in development, which is pretty standard practice around this time as they're gearing up for the Olympics next year.
Yeah, no specs yet available, right?
No, nothing really. Yeah. And I don't think we're going to see much, at least until Canon drops the 1DX, because, they'll be going head-to-head right over there.
Maybe even soon, because Sony is dropping theirs in this week, so we'll see.
That is also true, I mean, I kind of keep forgetting that there's a third big player in that range now.
And then also another Nikon lens, the 120 to 300 mm.
Yeah, f2.8.
F2.8, and the FL technology built in, so it's going to be light, good quality.
Yeah, I mean, if the other lenses that they've got in that range, like that 500, is anything to go by,
it's going to be an amazing lens.
Could be really great. Nice and compact, lightweight, walk around. Could be a winner for them.
So Dion, just a question, seeing that mirrorless is becoming so relevant now, these big flagship models like the 1DX and the D6, how long do you think these guys are still going to punt these out?
Oh, it's,
difficult question.
You're putting a man on the spot. I think right now, like in the climate that we're in, lower down the range, I think mirrorless is definitely taking over and dominating.
Yes.
At the top end, though, there is a lot of shooters out there who has a lot of very expensive, very high-end glass that was specifically made for these flagship DSLRs. Yeah. And purely because of that, I think there is still a very big market for it,
Especially in the wildlife game where you need that robust body, you need that solid body.
Absolutely. So, I mean, as we keep saying about the Olympics happening next year and at this Olympics, you are probably still going to see a lot of Canon and Nikon shooters sitting at the, the finish line of the 100-meter race, that kind of thing. But as it keeps evolving, as, Nikon's Z and Sony's FE mounts and Canon's R mount keeps growing and keep evolving, this will probably be the last generation of true flagship DSLR sport and wildlife cameras.
I think I agree on that, definitely. Yeah. I think the pros definitely want to keep up with the times, and mirrorless is definitely creeping the way up there.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Some exciting news for our EOS R users, and definitely something to always keep in the back of your mind for any camera user actually is new firmware.
Yeah, so Canon dropped some major firmware updates for the EOS R and the EOS RP.
And it's definitely major, like huge upgrade.
Yeah, it is massive. And like one of the biggest fixes that they put in was to just really spruce up their autofocus game. So with the face detect and eye detect autofocus, putting that in there. And touching back on our previous point, like that seems to be the biggest point on mirrorless at the moment.
Is always improving the firmware.
Yeah, you can essentially add features that weren't there just through firmware updates. So that's brilliant.
And for the clients out there, not sure how to do it, we do free firmware upgrades in store. And on top of that, we'll clean your sensor as well. So it takes maybe 5 to 10 minutes, but it's quick. We can do it. Right, so that's it for this week's camera news and rumors here at Orms TV.
Yeah, and as always, if there's anything that we missed or anything that you guys are super excited about, don't forget to comment down below, and we will catch you guys next time.
See you guys.
Cheers.